Do you have plans for the 4th of July weekend? Well, if you're flying, better have a plan B because in today's 4th stimulus package update and daily news report, we're going to discuss what could be the most insane weekend of your life. And we also have a leaked memo from the Red Cross that you have to see and a stimulus check that is going out to millions. So in Boca, Pennsylvania, Shauna Johnson was very worried regarding her connecting flight from Charlotte to Columbus, as hundreds of flights were being cancelled within the last 24 hours. Now we're just starting here. Now according to Johnson, it was very difficult, especially with a 4-year-old. I kind of have a backup plan if I need to grab a rental. We're fully prepared to do that anyway. The question here is, are you guys prepared to do the same? Do you have enough to pay for airplane tickets and a rental if the need arises, because it's now becoming the norm? And both airfare and gas prices are not very cheap. Some airlines don't even give out refunds. I believe it was about 6 months before their flight. The tickets were around 70% cheaper compared to about 5 months later. The problem was when it was about a week before their flight, their destination country, which was in Asia, suddenly went on lockdown. And instead of risking it, they decided to just let it go as a cheaper ticket, but officially stated that no refunds would be issued. They did allow rescheduling of flights, but at that point, they almost lost all interest in even going there first, and Barlow, a travel agent for Covington Township. The issue stems from multiple problems that the airline industry has been struggling with for some time now. You've got staffing shortages, high demand, jet fuel prices, pilot shortages, and these are just some of the biggest struggles that they've had lived with. Now with the law of supply and demand supply for flights, they are running low. And we all know this means that airfare is going to be a lot higher, about 45% higher compared to about 3 years ago for domestic flights alone. Now we've already talked about it, the cost of oil is still incredibly high, but it would be pretty weird to not acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is that prices they are actually going down. AAA spokesperson Andrew Gross said this recently, quote, "The cost of oil accounts for nearly $3 for every $4.89 at the gas pump. Consumers should find more relief when filling up if oil prices drop further." So experts are now predicting that this may actually be the calm before the storm. Patrick Dehan had a petroleum analyst, a gasp, but he commented risk remains that when the peak of hurricane season arrives, we could see a super spike at the pump. And this is probably what we have to wait on, especially with this busy weekend where demand will surely tear through the roof. Even President Biden said that he's considering it, but again, no action on that. In California, stimulus checks of up to $1,050 are going to be provided to almost 23 million residents. These are being dubbed as the inflation relief checks that can be used for multiple different types of necessities. But what do you guys make of this through? Should a 4th stimulus check be provided now, or will that just add to the historically high inflation? Now it's very tough to think that people are maxing out their cards and using up their savings just to get by, and a lot of us are starting to lose patience with the assistance or lack thereof that has been provided, especially to the middle class. Now speaking of lacking something, shortages may define what 2022 means to our country, from baby formula to diesel shortages are driving costs up for every household, and a latest shortage comes as no surprise, as this is connected to a very controversial decision that was just made. CVS, Walmart, and Rite Aid, as well as Amazon, last I checked, now have placed limitations on the sales of morning after pills, with CVS and Rite Aid only providing 3 sets of Plan B one step, the pill that can be acquired out without a prescription, while Walmart will be able to provide at least 4 to 6 in terms of limitations. Now shortages are happening everywhere, and one of the worst places it would happen is at the blood bank. The American Red Cross which controls around 40% of the blood plant of our country. They declared this shortage back in January, saying that decreased donations is the driving factor behind it. Workers are saying something else, much like a lot of businesses right now. Staffing issue is being cited by workers as the main culprit. Yep, blame it on the workers. Let's not blame it on the employers who aren't offering enough to the workers. I digress. Now, some workers are said to have turned away donors as their lines are already backed up, and keeping staffing is also an issue due to low pay. A document from a January meeting may have revealed the truth about what's really happening out there. In it, Red Cross Senior Account Manager Joseph Shopley said this: "We don't want to drive donors to places that are understaffed, that turn donors away, that becomes frustrating to donors." Now, this kind of confirmed what workers have been saying all along. Derry Ford, a collection technician at Red Cross in Warner Robins, Georgia, he said this: "It's not a blood shortage, it's worker shortage. A pandemic provided a lot of things. People are not going to take anything anymore." Just because the Red Cross has not non-profit logo, people are not above it. More people are working off the job than I've seen in 20 years, and this opens up the issue regarding labor. Once again, we reported this recently where 1,300 pilots picked due to scheduling issues, and the same can be said for the workers of the Red Cross, as they're being expected to work very long hours just to keep up with the number of donors. Now, the price of everything is going up, and there's not much that we can do right now. We either pay more, adapt, or start a big garden with a lot of variety in our backyards. Now, in all honesty, adaptation will probably be the most easiest option. But what I'm telling you guys is that to be able to afford something is totally different than to be able to simply buy it. There's a big difference between the two. The average American consumer is suffering at the moment, and it's important to know where our priority lie. It's also a reason why a third of Americans avoid social gatherings, and they don't want to talk about their financial situations. A recent Harvard Harris poll found that 56% of Americans say that it's also getting worse. Another 20% said that their financial situation is improving. Prepared now, stimulus checks and tax refunds cannot come soon enough. Diesel and gas prices are soaring. With bans on food exports, droughts, and global inflation, empty shelves have been replaced by higher and higher food prices every time when a grocery store sells. The price of milk, meat, eggs, and cooking oils, they are all hitting record highs. It seems like the middle class just can't catch the break. Have you ever dropped your phone and cracked the screen and wish you had insurance on it, and you suddenly couldn't drive your car and then go look for insurance with you? I don't think so. Heating and air conditioning system failed unexpectedly and cost thousands of dollars to repair, about that upstairs toilet leaking downstairs. How about the water heater or the substrate leaky roof? Yep, could cost thousands. But don't let Murphy's Law catch you by surprise. Get your free home warranty quote and never have to worry about expensive home repairs again. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.